Your cat has a bed you bought specifically for it. Soft, padded, placed in a warm corner of the room. It has never used it once. But the pile of clothes you dropped on the floor last night, the ones you wore all day, the ones you definitely need to wash, your cat found those within minutes and has been sleeping on them ever since. You have probably noticed this pattern and laughed it off as a cat being a cat. But what is actually driving this behavior is one of the more revealing things feline science has found about how deeply bonded cats are to the specific humans they live with, and how that bond is maintained in ways that have nothing to do with food or play or any of the things owners typically think about. Your dirty laundry is not a random choice. It is a precise one. And understanding why your cat makes it changes how you see almost everything else your cat does around you. Start with biology, because the foundation of this behavior sits entirely in scent, and what scent means to a cat in a way it simply does not mean to a human. Your cat's nose contains roughly 200 million scent receptors. Yours contains around 5 million. That gap is not a minor difference in sensitivity. It is a fundamentally different relationship with chemical information. For you, scent is one input among several, usually background noise, unless something is very strong or very pleasant or very alarming. For your cat, scent is primary. It is how your cat builds and maintains its model of the world, its map of who is who, what belongs where, and what is safe. Your body produces a continuous stream of chemical information through sweat, skin cells, and natural oils. This information is unique to you in the way a fingerprint is unique to you. Your cat has memorized it. Not consciously, not the way you might memorize a face, but at a deep neurological level built through repeated exposure over months and years of living with you. Your scent is one of the most familiar and most processed pieces of sensory information in your cat's entire world. Clothing you have worn for a full day carries a concentrated version of that scent. Not diluted by distance, not mixed with the smells of other surfaces in the house. Dense, warm, rich with the specific chemical signature your cat has spent years learning. To your cat, that pile of clothes on the floor is the closest thing to you that exists in the room when you are not in it. If your cat has ever chosen your worn clothes over its actual bed, drop a comment below. I want to know how long it took before you stopped being surprised by it. The second layer involves what researchers call scent-based proximity, and it explains something specific about when this behavior intensifies. Cats that sleep on their owner's laundry do it more frequently and for longer periods during times of owner absence. When you are home, your cat has access to you directly. It can follow you from room to room, sit near you, make physical contact. When you leave for work, when you travel, when your schedule changes and you are simply around less than usual, the behavior of seeking out worn clothing increases measurably. Dr. Kristen Vitale at Unity College, whose research focuses on cat attachment and social behavior, has found that cats form genuine attachment bonds with their primary humans that function similarly to the bonds documented in dogs and in human infants. Separation from an attachment figure produces real stress responses. Cortisol levels rise. Behavioral markers of anxiety appear. The cat is not simply bored. It is experiencing something closer to what you would recognize as missing someone. Worn clothing provides what researchers call a comfort cue, a sensory signal associated so strongly with the attachment figure that its presence partially substitutes for the actual presence of that person. Your scent on clothing is doing the same job that a child's comfort object does. It is a piece of you your cat can stay near when you are not there. This is also why the behavior concentrates specifically on recently worn clothing rather than clean laundry. Clean clothes carry your scent at much lower concentration and mixed with detergent, which your cat does not associate with you. The specificity of the preference reveals the mechanism. Your cat is not seeking softness or warmth in an abstract sense. It is seeking your scent at the highest available concentration. The third layer is about territory and what it means for a cat to feel that its environment belongs to it and is secure. Cats maintain their sense of territorial ownership through scent marking, rubbing their face on objects, scratching surfaces to leave scent from paw glands, and depositing scent through contact with anything they spend time near. A cat that sleeps on your laundry is doing something that functions as bidirectional scent exchange. It is absorbing your scent while simultaneously depositing its own onto your clothes. Animal behaviorist Pam Johnson Bennett, who has written extensively on feline behavior, describes this as cats engaging in communal scent blending with their bonded humans. In a multi-cat household, cats that are bonded to each other sleep together and groom each other specifically to create a shared scent profile that marks them as a social unit. Your cat is doing the same thing with your laundry. It is merging its scent with yours, creating a combined signature that, in its social framework, marks the two of you as belonging to the same group. Has your cat ever brought its face specifically to your worn clothes and rubbed its cheeks on them before settling in? That rubbing is scent gland activation. It is your cat formally signing the territory as shared. The fourth dimension is stress regulation, and it is the piece that matters most when you understand the full picture of what your cat is doing. Contact with a familiar, comforting scent triggers measurable neurochemical changes in cats. Oxytocin release, reduction in cortisol, a shift in the nervous system away from alert states toward rest. These are not subtle background effects. They are the same mechanisms activated by actual physical contact with the bonded person. Your cat sleeping on your laundry is not just choosing a comfortable spot. It is actively regulating its own stress response using the most reliable comfort tool it has access to in your absence. Research in environmental enrichment for shelter cats has consistently found that placing worn clothing from a familiar person in a cat's enclosure reduces stress indicators more reliably than almost any other single intervention. The effect is strong enough and consistent enough that it has become a standard recommendation in veterinary behavioral medicine for cats in stressful situations. Hospital stays, boarding, travel, new environments. Your cat has figured this out without being told. It identified the most effective stress regulation tool available to it in your home and started using it. The pile of clothes on the floor is not laziness on your part, accidentally benefiting your cat. It is your cat being more sophisticated about its own emotional regulation than most owners ever realize. The fifth piece is the simplest one and sits underneath everything else. Your cat sleeps on your laundry because warmth and scent together create the closest available simulation of sleeping next to you. Worn clothing retains body heat for a period after being removed. Combined with your scent concentration, the experience of settling into that pile of clothes gives your cat something that is sensorially close to physical contact with you. Not identical, not a complete substitute, but close enough that the nervous system responds in a similar direction. This is why the behavior is strongest with the most recently worn items, the ones that still carry warmth alongside the scent, and why it fades over days as both the warmth and the scent concentration diminish. Your cat is not being unsanitary or indifferent to the concept of clean. It is chasing a specific combination of signals that decays over time, and it will look for the freshest source it can find. 5 layers underneath something you probably dismissed as a quirky cat habit. The scent that your cat has spent years memorizing and reaches for when you are not in the room. The attachment bond that makes your absence something it actively manages rather than simply waits out. The territorial scent blending that marks your clothes as shared space between the two of you. The stress regulation mechanism that makes your laundry genuinely functional rather than just comforting in a vague way. And the warmth that makes the whole combination as close to you as your cat can get, without you actually being there. Your cat is not obsessed with dirty laundry. It is obsessed with you. The laundry is just the best version of you available at 2 p.m. when you are at work, and it has already checked every room twice. If this made you see your cat differently the next time it claims your clothes, share it with someone whose cat does the same thing. And subscribe, because next week we are going into something that connects directly to this. Why your cat follows you from room to room, and what it is actually telling you every time it does.